Jokedealer Inc's Hot 5, comedian Turae Gordon.
Party people, how y'all doing? Get that shit up for Cypher Sounds, nigga. That's a hell of an intro. Hope I can live up to that shit. And not on that level, but I know Cypher Sounds the type of dude he's here to change the world with his comedy. He on a different level. I'm not that involved. I'm just here to pay this cable bill. It ain't the cable bill per se, it's that fucking bundle, cause you never know what's in a bundle till you don't pay that bitch. That's when you get an education. I didn't pay the bundle 1 month. They sent my daughter home from school. It was like 9:30 in the morning. I'm like, the fuck you doing home so early? She's like, you ain't paid a bundle, Dad? I'm like, shit. Tuition is in that bitch? Cable is gangster. You know cable is gangster.
Y'all, this is Hank Denson. This is what it's called, Jokedealersinc Hot 5. I am Hank Denson. This is Turae Gordon. Look, let me tell you something. Let me say, in the world of comedy, and you put a microphone in a stand, and there's people watching, and they're listening, this dude is the maestro of what is done, and he does it correctly. It is a pleasure to have you here in the Hot 5, man. Give it up for Turae, Philly in the building.
What up, Hank? The bank? What with you, man?
Hey, man, I'm living. I can't complain. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to complain. I can't complain. Dude, we tell jokes for a living.
Yes, man. I mean, right now, a lot of us are not doing the best, I guess. And I always tell comedians, I'm like, this is, if you, right now in the pandemic, if you haven't done it before, get your business together. Because those of us, if you had your business together, this is just, you're not working. You ain't fucked up right now.
Right,
you know
right.
Some comedians is real hurt right now. But
if you don't know what a debt to income ratio is, you know now.
Yes, man. Like, so it's a tough time as far as not getting that energy from being on stage and performing. But It's okay. I'm home with my family. I'm blessed. I can't complain. Nobody close to me has had to deal or struggle with with this on a personal level. So I'm not going to be the one raining on nobody's parade. I'm gonna enjoy the rest right now.
I hear you, bro. So let's I'm not gonna run down the resume. Let's get right to it, man. Why comedy?
Man, you know what? Comedy was the first thing I did that I wanted. That I guess comedy became something to me that I knew I could do, and it provided everything for me.
Okay.
I don't know if you can understand. Like it provided me confidence. It provided me experiences, world experiences. It provided me money. It provided lessons, and like everything I did, comedy gave me something. Like nothing else rewarded me like that. Not sports, not a job.
Right.
Comedy always gave me something. If I gave to comedy, it gave me something back. So it was the only thing in my life that was like that. And it was like, man, I love it. I love being able to stand on stage and express my point of view, and people find, laughter in that, and humor.
How did it start? What are your beginnings? Like, was it orchestrated? Do you just sit around?
See, that's the thing. Like, it's funny, I did an interview with Jamal Doman a couple weeks back. He's like, I never knew that. He's like, I knew you over 20 years. He's like, I always thought you wanted to be a comedian. I was like, no, I wanted to be a lawyer. I was at Temple. Yeah, because
so that's why you have such a strong vernacular and sentence structure. Okay. I was just like, cause sometimes I hear you say stuff and I see you break it down. I'm like, is he arguing to defend what did they say to? I always say, what did they say to Turae to get this dude to use all his elements in his language right now?
Dude, my mom used to say before she would shut me down, you had to come in and make your presentation when you want something.
Right.
I had my mom would say, you speak so well. Then she'd be like, no.
No. I was gonna give you a no anyways.
Right, I was gonna tell you no, but I like
my baby can talk. You hear me?
So, and I could always talk, and I could always express myself in a point of view and get people to think a certain way. So I was definitely in the lawyer because I came into my love for law and trial law, and mock trials in high school. So anyway, I would say, long story short, I get to high school and I'm just able to debate. I became known on campus my freshman year, like, you don't want to say nothing stupid to Turae. Because it's 15 minutes later, I'm still standing there telling you how stupid that was that you said that. And this girl walked up to me and she's like, hey, you come to my open mic tonight? And I'm telling you, I was so green, I didn't even know, what's an open mic? And she talking about, you come by and you tell jokes. I'm like, I ain't no comedian. She's like, you funny. You know how women say stuff to you?
Yeah,
like,
you be like,
look me up and down, like, you funny.
Then you be like, well, I am funny.
Right. I was like, well, can my friends come? Because I had a crew. Everybody got a crew you hang with freshman year.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, if they got their general activity sticker, we got free refreshments. I'm like, oh, bet. So that's how my first 10 minutes on stage was talking about my first 4 months of college. This is my freshman year, so it's my first 4 months. I'm not a fraternity or nothing. Like, so I'm pretty much like I'm part of the misfits.
Right.
So
right.
like,
You like the Tribe Called Quest on campus. You like
right. I'm that squad. I'm on the step listening to hip hop, all that. So that was, so that was how I got introduced to comedy. And at the end of the night, they gave me $50. And it was like,
wait a minute, off the rip.
Remember I told you it always gave me something. I ain't even win. It was like a bunch of people perform, but I think it was just like they had, offerings. Like, here, this is perform. It was an envelope. Like, here you go, $50. I was like,
wow. And
you get money for this?
College freshman, you were like, hey man, look.
They hooked me.
Y'all, 2 of y'all is my real people, so I got y'all.
They could have comedy could have walked me down a dark alley that night. I'd have went right. I wouldn't have known. $50? Yeah, go down that alley. I got another $50 for you. I'm like, for real?
Right.
But yeah, man. So that's how I started. And like, all right. So 2 weeks later, the school had the Deltas did a star search, like real star search platform. They had a musical category, comedy category, and I came in second. And the band came in second place.
You knew where you were? You knew?
No. I'm sorry, I didn't lose, Hank. I won comedy, but I came in second overall.
But I'm saying you knew where you were with comedy chops. You know what I mean? You think about.
I don't know. No. Cause shit, man, I still hadn't started. I at one point I was wearing a leotard on stage, and I hadn't gotten to that point yet. So no, I know what I just was always naturally able to say some shit, and people be like, oh, So
okay.
So anyway, I do the star search, and the band that they had hired to do music for the night, it was a guy there. He said, hey man, my cousin does a little comedy events here and there. I'll give you a call. Hank, I'm still living at home with my mom. I got my own line though. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
the double ring.
So I gave him my number. 2 years later, I'm in my mom's room. I'm in my room at my mom's house. And I get called, hey, this is Stacy. I'm like, Stacy who? He's Stacy from Serious Mix. That was the band. I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, my cousin started this Monday night down South Philly. So, it's comedy. Go down there and check it out. So I had been like, trying to find my way. There wasn't much going on at the time that I knew about at this time for me as a now junior in college trying to find I didn't know nothing about comedy enough to like, this ain't the internet where you can just pull it up. So it's like, it's 93.
We're pre-internet. Like I said, you can see this grade. I'm pre. There was no
Right. Yeah. So it's 93. And I go down to this Monday night, and that's where I would meet. Pretty much, that's how I got on the ship that took me off into the land of comedy. Okay. I met my mentor. I met all of the comedians. I met the comedy world of Philadelphia. Okay. Because it started gathering on these Monday nights to do. Right. It was basically an open mic night. Right. But it was all black comedy. D. Lee, Javon Pearson, Ronnie Long, Dick Tracy.
Oh wow! I didn't know I didn't know those were Philly comedians.
Yeah.
Them cats I meet in New York. I met them in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, Javon. I mean, at the time, Javon was on Fresh Prince, and he was on Def Jam. Yeah. What's my girl name? Tracy Smith. Not Tracy. Tammy Smith.
Oh,
the actress.
She's from Philly?
She's from Camden. She started in comedy.
Wow.
So she used to be at this Monday night. Like just everybody was building their child.
Because I can't tell them apart. She's a twin.
Yeah, well, see, it was her. It was her. It was Tim. It wasn't her sister. But
I mean, you know what? It messed me up because we in Atlanta, and it was like her sister was sitting somewhere, and I'm like, oh shoot, because she teaches acting class here, and I'm like, oh shoot, and then they were like, I said, what is that? It was like, nah, that's her sister. I'm like, okay.
And I'm sure she knew that. Like, you're not talking to me, you're talking to my sister, but I let her know.
Right.
But yeah, man. So, you know, that was how I kind of got into comedy. From there, you know, D. Lee became my mentor. D went on to buy the Laugh House, and that's how my comedy journey started.
Because the Laugh House was somewhere I always aspired to get to. Comedians that would be like, I started, it was like I would run into Mike Britt and a lot of them cats, you know, moving around. And I'd be like, yo, what's Philly like? And the only time I touched Philly was so crazy. I was supposed to do a show in Philly with some more. That's the crazy thing. And I didn't make it. I was just like, you know, I was like, I was scared, dude. I would do some urban rooms, but other city urban rooms, I would be like,
I get you. You know what, Hank? I never knew better. I always approached comedy like I never knew better. Even when I was I wouldn't say established, but when I was a professional comedian and earning money and paying my bills from just doing comedy after I did Def Jam.
Yeah.
Nigga, I remember Thursday nights at Uptown in Atlanta. And Talent tried to warn me. He was like, Talent, you know, Talent Harris out of New York.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that ain't for that. I was like, man, fuck out of here. I'm go down there, nigga. I was always a have jokes will travel type.
Right, right.
Man, when I like my man, one of my best friends who still, you know, he lived in Atlanta, Casey. He was with me that night, and Casey was with me the first time I ever did comedy. I know Casey.
Oh wow, okay.
So Casey, you know, been along the journey. Casey knows I'm K-Boy. So I'm on stage, and Casey said, man, all I heard was you go, y'all ain't gonna let me tell my jokes. he said, at that point, I started booing you because you was being a bitch.
Yo, that's what, dude. And
what you mean they not gonna let you, nigga? No,
that's the thing that I learned here.
Joke Dealer Inc.'s Hot 5 comedian Turae Gordon.